Kingdom Hearts 4, Michael. So you, as we know, our resident RPG sicko, you love role-playing games. They are your lifeblood. And Kingdom Hearts 4, D23 happened over this past weekend, which is the every other year fan convention that Disney does. And they announced lots of stuff, a lot of theme park stuff. Of course, their movies and TV stuff. And there happened to be a little bit of video game action in it this year as well, in the form of Kingdom Hearts, which is getting an anime, and it's also getting a release date for the game, or at least a release window. Michael, late 2027, Coco's in. That's what the new trailer showed off. I got to hear from you here. Where's your hype level at? And do you believe the 2027 release window?
Okay, where do I start? I first want to say that I have a pretty complicated relationship with Kingdom Hearts. I loved it as a kid. It was magical. It was wonderful. I loved Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Then it kind of just it went in all kinds of directions I wasn't always a fan of. I wasn't hot on Kingdom Hearts 3. I remember that when that came around. But if you're asking me my hype levels for 4, they're a lot higher than they were upon first reveal and that other sort of new trailer that they showed during a Switch Direct not too long ago.
Yeah.
This trailer they showed at D23 is it's exactly what we've needed to see from Kingdom Hearts 4 to 1. Believe that it's real for real, and 2, to show off how it's incorporating its Disney aspects in addition to, still having Donald, Goofy, Mickey, and Hades and the things we've known from the other Kingdom Hearts games. There's a lot to unpack here. They're showing all the right stuff. In terms of fall 2027, Tetsuya Nomura was a surprise guest at D23. And he pulled up and they asked him, how committed are you to that release window? And Tetsuya Nomura said, we're not delaying it. That's not going to happen, or there are no delays.
I have the exact quote here.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
He says, online, some people were saying the release date might get pushed back. I want to set the record straight. That is not happening. So famous last words in game development, especially when we're only in August of 2026.
Yeah, anything can happen. And the thing with Tetsuya Nomura is that he's worked on a lot of projects that have drifted. Of course, like Versus 13, that never came to fruition. That kind of blended into Final Fantasy 15 and parts of Kingdom Hearts. 15 had a tumultuous cycle. Obviously, KH3 and KH4 have been kind of all over the place in terms of development. But man, if you're on stage at D23 and you say it straight to camera for the whole world to see, it's not happening, there is no delays, you kind of got to stick to that. But that tells me that I think a lot of the roadblocks that would be present for something like Kingdom Hearts, you're dealing with Disney in the new age where everything is so tightly constrained. But what this tells me is that all that stuff has been figured out, all that stuff has been greenlit, and it's pretty much go ahead to finish development. So those kinds of roadblocks, it seems like those would be clear. Now it's just a matter of getting it across the finish line. At least that's what it communicates to me. And that gives me hope that KH4 not only is going to actually come out on time, as they say, but it shows a level of confidence that I don't think we see often from maybe just Nomura projects, or just something we haven't really, that Square Enix has been up and down about. So especially with something like this.
Would you say that this is the Nomura-san equivalent of Peter Moore rolling up his sleeve at E3 2004 to show the tattoo of the November 9th, 2004 release date for Halo 2?
Man, if Tetsuya Nomura pulled up his cargo shorts and said, yo, listen, I'm tattooing the fall 27 with the KH4 logo on it, it would be on that level. This is not close to that, of course, but it's as good as we're going to get, man.
So I have almost no relationship with Kingdom Hearts, even though I love Disney. I'm a big Disney theme park fan, but you weren't with us when 3 came out, and I talked about it here at the time. But for me, it had always been a PlayStation exclusive up until 3 came around, and the others have since come to Xbox. But I tried with Kingdom Hearts 3. I found it completely impenetrable for someone that wasn't already steeped in the series lore. Like I hope that 4 addresses that somehow and tries to onboard players better than how I feel 3 did, which I didn't really feel 3 did at all. Which, and not everything has to be for everybody and every new player. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to say that, but I tried with 3 and I was just like, I have no idea who any of these people are, what we're doing, what's going on. So I hope maybe that the story can try to satisfy veterans and new players a little bit better by maybe having some bit of smoother onboarding process in this one.
Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. I mean, listen, Kingdom Hearts gets a lot of flack for being convoluted and kind of in its own world with its own unique characters, and like people came to it for like the Disney and Final Fantasy crossover, and then it kind of became its own thing where its original characters began to get a crazy fandom on their own, and all the spin-off games kind of like build the world around that. And you can't ask everyone to like play spin-off games or even revisit the old games, as much as the sort of remaster package is like a pretty good representation of the series as a whole. I'm actually currently replaying them. So after this announcement, I went back to the final mix copies that I have and started playing them again. And even as someone who has fond memories of this series, it's a lot of work to keep up, man. So maybe this time around, given all the time since, and maybe the part of it they can treat it as a reset in terms of getting people interested who are not like sickos about Organization 13 and Xehanort and getting Norded and all that. See, if you don't know what that means, you're going to be lost probably. But there's a lot to love about this stuff, because like even revisiting these games as an adult, it's like, wow, this stuff was magical, man. And even playing Kingdom Hearts 2, separate from all that other stuff, like the crossover worlds are genuinely really well done, and it still makes sense in the world of that Kingdom Hearts is built for itself. And I hope that shines through in Cage 4, because those are the best parts of it. And like if someone is on the outside looking in thinking they might be excited for this, I don't want them to be turned off at some of the other extraneous stuff around the edges, because a lot of that crossover stuff is genuinely cool. And especially with Coco. Coco is probably, of all the modern Disney properties and Pixar movies, I think Coco is probably the best fit thematically for what Kingdom Hearts is about, especially if you know the story of going from 3 and seemingly into 4, talking about the afterlife and, friendships and connections and bonds that we have and how we stay connected to people in the afterlife with our memories. Like that is such a strong part of what Kingdom Hearts is about. And that's what Coco is about. So if this crossover here is indicative of the rest of the game, which I hope it is, maybe this is a moment in which Kingdom Hearts can mature. Not to say that everything else was immature or like not worth revisiting or anything, but I think this is an opportunity for them to kind of step up in terms of its storytelling style while still being whimsical and fun, because that's what it's all about. But this Coco crossover showing that up front, man, that gives me a lot of hope.
I guess I should just go back to something that I get on my soapbox about for a lot of game sequels these days, especially as development timelines have gotten longer and longer. I hope Square will invest in taking the time, taking the resources to make like a previously on Kingdom Hearts, like an optional thing that you can hit and you can activate from the main menu that will catch you up on the story. Now, maybe with Kingdom Hearts, it's going to be like 15 minutes long. I don't know. But like Psychonauts 2 did that, even though there'd only been one Psychonauts. But by the time 2 came out, it had been like 15 years. So I really appreciated that about Psychonauts 2. There have been some other games that have done that as well. It's every new TV season does it. They do at the beginning of the new season, they do the, previously on Reacher, and they show you what's been going on. I wish that would become more of a standard in games. Again, especially as it just gets longer and longer and longer between sequel entries, Kingdom Hearts being no exception to that. So I don't know, maybe that's a solution here.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think that would actually be necessary given how much time there has been between 1, 2, and even 3 at this point. And that is also an impossible task. The directions in which the story goes, you have to like really pick and choose what you highlight and what's important. And if you ask a real diehard Kingdom Hearts fan, they will tell you that it's all important.
Yeah.
And I can't in good faith sit someone down and be like, watch this 30-minute video on Organization 13 and remember all of their names. Oh, by the way, these are all the Disney worlds we visited along the way and how they all fit into. They could
air it on Disney Plus, right? They could use it as a promotional vehicle for 4 by putting it on Disney Plus.
Listen, game trailers and things like that are going on subscription stream services now. Don't give them any ideas, or maybe do, because maybe that would actually be helpful. That should be packaged in the game. It should also be
like baked into the game, but they could just also air it on Disney Plus. Why not?
Yeah. Before release, get people hyped. Have it on Disney Plus. A 30-minute video recapping everything in Kingdom Hearts leading up to 4. That would be fantastic. I know that working at places like GameSpot and IGN, a lot of those recap videos we do extremely well and have long tails on them. So don't steal our thunder.
That's true. That's a fair point as well.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So that is Kingdom Hearts 4. Then I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael or the audience, the first big game to plant its flag in the ground for fall of 2027 specifically.
I think so.
There are plenty of games that have 2027 release windows, but I think Kingdom Hearts 4 is the first one that's gone out and said, we are out next fall. Like, we're going to be one of next fall's big games.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, the earlier you plant your flag, sick. I love to plan around that because, for planning purposes, but also because, I'm replaying the series and I want to make sure I have enough time to finish it leading up to 4.
Yeah, they're not short games.
Yeah. They're compared to what I usually play, though, dude. Like, I'm in like 80-hour RPGs constantly. Thankfully, Kingdom Hearts games are like 30-ish hours, but there's a lot of them, so it stacks up.
All right, so we shall see next fall. First big game, Kingdom Hearts 4. We will be keeping an eye out for it. Thanks for checking out this clip from Unlocked, IGN's weekly Xbox show. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to watch the full episode at youtube.com/IGN Games. New episodes of Unlocked drop every Thursday on IGN Games, IGN.com, and your favorite podcast platforms. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.